So I have to make a video about this crack. Well, it's not actually crack. It is cannabis. So there's two articles, and the first one is Cork man avoids jail for delivering drugs all over the city and county. Now this is a fucking hilarious article because you will find that there's no, there's nothing more than a man delivering some medicine around the place to people, and the article is unnecessary to be written. I don't even know is there a name of the guy who is doing it, but he should be congratulated for doing such a good job. And he seems very active because he's a full time employment job as well. Now the parts that are stupid are like I think he's sorry because he's addicted to cannabis. So that's why he's selling it. Bro, man up now, will you? You don't get addicted to cannabis. You like cannabis. You probably use it for different reasons. Oh, I think it says it in the article. You have pain. So own it. It helps you with your pain. You're not addicted to it. You get addicted to oxys, other pain medications. So please don't bend the knee to these people. So I'll read the article. A 48-year-old man in full time employment was operating by night as a vital cog in a very organised activity of drug distribution where he would make at least 10 drops a night all over the city and county. Uh, George George Murray of Ard na Gran, Station Road, Blarney, County Cork, pleaded guilty to having cannabis for sale or supply and having cash the proceeds of crime. Now I'm sorry, George, for putting your name out there, but I'm congratulating you, my friend. Your name is already out there. You've well done, well done. Good job, and I hope you're keeping people safe. That's all. It doesn't seem like there's anybody in trouble. We'll continue the reading. Judge Sinead Behan said, What is worrying is that you are doing this on a regular, organised basis around Cork City and County. The defendant spoke up at Cork Circuit Criminal Court during his sentencing hearing. I was addicted at the time. So he's no longer addicted? I think once you're an addict, you're always addicted. So there's a flaw in that right away. I got used to having money. Part of it was paying off what I was smoking. It is expensive. I will give you that. I mean, it is a pretty penny that they charge around the place when it's only a plant. So should be a lot cheaper. The defendant, Judge Behan, said that these drugs are not available unless someone goes around supplying them. He was going around in an organised fashion, doing at least 10 drops a night. Good. He does strike me as genuinely remorseful. He cooperated with Gardaí. This was quite a sophisticated operation, delivering drugs all around Cork City and count for payment. They left out the Y, but we'll count for payment. I don't want this man to lose his job. I think he can contribute to society by doing his job. He's a family man and he supports his family. Obviously, drug dealing is a scourge to our society. He enabled the consumption of drugs to occur in a wide area of Cork. Sentencing. The judge imposed a sentence of 2.5 years, which he suspended in respect of the charge of having cannabis for sale or supply. I zoned out. The judge imposed a sentence of 2.5 years, which was suspended in respect of the charge of having cannabis for sale or supply. Cannabis? So it's only cannabis. 2.5 years suspended. 180-hour community service order was imposed for the money laundering in respect of the cash, which he was found being the proceeds of crime. Emmett Boyle, barrister, said his admissions against his own interests are very much part of the case against him. The reason he was stopped driving that day was because of a fault with an indicator rather than the information about drug dealing. Oh no! Guys, if you're going around doing drops, please make sure your car is all up to scratch. Like, I mean, well, it's always the fucking small thing that catches, like the sophisticated operation. Anyway, the 48-year-old man had no previous convictions. There you go, like a fucking stand up pillar of the community. And still is. and I congratulate George, and I'm sorry that they put him through this bullshit. We'll continue. The 48-year-old man had no previous convictions. He is in gainful employment. He suffered a head injury prior to which resulted in him taking drugs to relieve pain, and he ended up in debt. Mr. Boyle said, "In my mitigation at Cork Circuit Criminal Court, excuse me, full stop. Detective Garda Colin O'Mahony said the value of the cannabis was seized from him was €3,600, and he had €3,800 in cash when he was stopped by the Gardaí on the 23rd of August 2024 at Oakwood, Macroom, County Cork." That's so little. Like what? That's a tiny amount. What's that? Like less than 10 ounces with the way they do. Lads, that's nothing. Nothing. It's like 10 weeks worth. You smoke an ounce a week. Get real, like, get real. The search of the vehicle was carried out on the side of the road because the accused appeared to be nervous when he stopped. He admitted delivering drugs all over West Cork that night: Timoleague, Lysandra, Macroom, Bandon, Clonacilty, and that he started out with $6,000 worth of cannabis in the package that night. So I suppose he had a key, probably. Interviewed at Bandon Garda Station, he admitted delivering drugs after work at night, charging €20 per delivery and €15 if the delivery was in Cork City. He would never do less than 10 drops a day. He was involved in this for more than a year. And that's the end of that article. Now, I just think that's like a non-story about George. Does everybody else agree? I mean, it's a non-story about George, like. Okay, so we'll read the second article. Cork man had 672k in cash in boot of car when he was stopped by the Gardaí, court hears. Now, I only just read this one, so as in the other one is funny. I don't really know the ins and outs of this one, but I think it's still just a stupid fucking story. That again, like obviously the guy is a criminal and like a dangerous criminal, so it is a different category. But it's the way it's written and the way that he's like, "Oh, I do odd jobs. That's why I had fucking 600 grand in the back of the car." Yeah. Okay. So Corkman had 672,000 in cash in boot of car when he was stopped by the Gardaí court hears. Jared Hayes made admissions to charges including the possession of cocaine for sale or supply and possession of large quantities of ammunition and silencers for firearms and a very large amount of cash and property, the proceeds of criminal conduct, which are money laundering charges. A Cove man under investigation for money laundering, drug dealing, and possession of ammunition was stopped driving in Dublin when he was out in bail, and Gardaí found 672,000 in cash wrapped in vacuum packs and duct tape in the boot of his car. Jared Hayes, with an address of... I'm sorry for reading your letter. We don't need to read his name. Sorry, Jared. Detective Sergeant Eugene McCarthy said... told him there was 620 grand in the boot of the car, but in fact there was 52,000 more. You know, small accounting error. 52 grand, it can happen. He insisted it was all from cash jobs and fixers like he had done over the years, and denied any involvement in drugs. The way the money was wrapped and marked bears all the hallmarks of drug dealing, Detective Sergeant McCarthy said at the Cork City Criminal Court. This arrest by Donnybrook Gardaí in Dublin occurred on February 20th, 2024, within days of being released on bail following his arrest for drug dealing and money laundering offences in East Cork, and he was arrested for a third time, having secured high court bail in relation to the Dublin charges soon afterwards on March 20th. 2024. Driving. Detective Garda Dylan Murphy said that on the date he was seen driving a Toyota Avensis near Cove Rugby Club, and on being searched he had a €1,400 worth of cocaine in deals concealed in a repurposed spray canister On the first of the three incidents before the court today, two hairbrushes were found in possession. While there were a lot of hair tangled in the brushes, it was discovered on closer inspection that the brushes had been modified to conceal close to 3 grand worth of cocaine in deals. Oh, that's amazing! I didn't read that far in the article before. I'm gonna have to read that one again. On the first of the three incidents before the court today, two hairbrushes were found in his possession. While there was a lot of hair tangled in the brushes, it was discovered on closer inspection that the brushes had been modified to conceal close to 3 grams worth of cocaine in deals. That's amazing. Um, Write that down. Well, don't, because they found it, but still, you never think to look at a hairbrush, but they did, you know. Um, they obviously knew that this guy was up to no good. They keep dude. They know you're doing bad stuff. Like, chill out. Like, can you not like try to be a good person? Maybe like just try. You know, I suppose what can you do when the demons got you? Anyway, an assortment of ammunition for which he had a license but did not have at the time was found on that occasion. Some of the ammunition had and related materials were found in the attic of storage premises. Like, I mean, these guys are crazy. Also, following searches carried out of that of with a value of 86 grand. Oh yeah, he admitted possessions of a fucking boat and engine. Oh, okay, he admitted possession of proceeds of criminal conduct in the form of a boat, including contents and engine, with a value of 86 grand. This is proper fucking mafia shit, lads. Like, do you know, I've got a boat with an engine and it's worth 86 grand. No more, no less. I love it. But interviewed between the three incidents, he was interviewed on the 17th. Sorry. Between the three incidents, he was interviewed on 17 separate occasions and disclosed nothing of material assistance to the investigations during any of them. How do you know about the boat? So, anyway, ultimately, he made admissions to charges including the possession of cocaine for sale or supply and possessions of large quantities of ammunition and silencers for firearms, and a very large quantity of cash and property. The proceeds of criminal conduct, which are money laundering charges. The most serious charges states that the 20th of February 2024 at Dublin 4, he had proceeds of criminal conduct, namely cash to the value of 672 grand. I hate the way they repeat the fucking thing when you read down. It's annoying. As well as the total value of cash, vehicles, boat, and other property that were deemed to be in the proceeds of criminal conduct totaled over 745,000 euros. Judge Helen Boyle made a forfeiture order to the state of all of this. The Audi A4 being paid for in installments by the accused was not fortified to the state. Forfeited. I knew my fucking brain went tits up there. I was like, what's wrong? Jane Highland, senior counsel, emphasized the value of the pleas of guilty made by the accused in these cases. Judge Boyle said that there was a lot of evidence to consider, and she remanded the accused in custody for sentencing until July 2nd. Okay, so obviously this guy is an extremely dangerous criminal and needs to be dealt with as such. I mean, I'm making light of it, but he's obviously completely fucked in the head. He's like, I mean, you know, you're going around, you're getting arrested, and then they're leaving you out in bail, and then you're getting in the car with 500,000 and guns and ammunition or whatever the fuck you're doing. I don't know. Like, you don't even know. That's the thing. You don't even know. You don't even know what you're doing. And that's why you're very dangerous. It's not like, you know, we just have to put you in jail. Sorry about that. So this is why I had to bring attention to these articles, because the parallels between the two as well is quite extraordinary. One, like, I do kind of need to know about this guy. He is a dangerous guy, and he should be put away. But the other guy is just a fucking guy having the crack and smoking a bit of weed, and we're working a regular job with his family. What are you doing? I mean, One is of interest to the public for safety, and the other is an article written for clicks to get paid and to almost embarrass and shame the guy when he did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. And we need to all speak up and say that. The ones that are not fucking narcissists and, you know, unfortunate, soulless, lost people who just don't want other people to have fun. And that's all this is all about, really. And like, there's many different reasons to use cannabis. There's so many different medical benefits, to use it. Like, I have many myself, and I can't I can't imagine my life without cannabis. And like, I've been off the drink for 7 months this time, and I am smoking one every day. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I am in control of myself. And I won't be going drinking, and I won't be going back on tobacco. And all I need is regular cannabis use, medicine. And I will never, ever change my mind on that. So, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. This is Simon Says and Bearer Buds. Nothing for sale or supply as of yet, but there's no doubt in my mind that my store, Bearer Buds, will be opening up soon.